Welcome to talkbirdietome. This is Australia's most popular golf podcast, with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn, the only player to beat Tiger Woods twice in match play, and tour pro Mark Allen, who played professional golf around the world for 15 years, including a British Open. We're coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist is the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy is the number one shoe and glove in golf. And thanks to our great partners, Watch My Numbers, the most powerful database golf app in the world. Download from the App Store or Google Play. Ping, as with Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. See your local golf shop or professional for a Ping Club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now that's better. Now, from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie to Me. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Hello, everybody. This is a feedback podcast. If you want to send in a question, get in touch with our socials. Or if you're really clever, go to talkbirdietome.com.au. Scroll down a little bit, push the button, and you can leave a voice message, which we love as well. Dan, over to you, sir.
A lot of comments on your comments last week, Mark, where you were talking about Royal Melbourne and whether it will be ready in time for the Open. In fact, your statement was a little stronger than that. You said you don't believe it will be unless there is I think the words you used were a minor miracle.
A miracle, yes.
Small miracle.
A small miracle.
Yeah.
I also think that if anyone is capable, Royal Melbourne is capable of making this miracle happen. So I hope it didn't come across as harsh as some people have made out. But anyway, we live and we let. And by the way,
you are here for the debate.
By the way, I will say this. I was debating whether to say that. I got some information this week about Royal Melbourne and the Australian Open and everything, and I cannot say anything about it.
You can't?
But it made my hair curl.
Wow. Okay.
I was promised. I can't. Sorry, man. I cannot, and I hate to leave it like that. But I did hear. I didn't even hear it. I was told, and I was surprised.
Okay,
but not that surprised.
We won't pry.
That'll do.
I heard this incredible rumor about Donald Trump last week, Nick, but I can't tell you what it is.
No, don't do that. What sort of a person are you?
Do you?
Well, now you know how we feel, Mark.
Well,
now you know how we feel.
Ask me when the cameras go off.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so Harry has said, based on the pictures I've seen recently of Royal Melbourne, I agree, Mark, it does not look likely. So,
well, one of the things that was interesting to me, and this is one of the reasons I'm saying it, Nick, is because normally when you're trying to get some regrowth and you can't just lay down some new turf, you would stop people walking on it.
Well, we're in the middle of winter and it's not going to get any regrowth at the moment anyway. So they're going to have to, once we come out of winter and we get that warmer weather, there's going to be a lot of roping off going on, as you say.
Have to be roped off.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're cheering for you. We want it to look spectacular because that's a little bit different from us down here in Australia, is that this is our opportunity to showcase the best golf courses that we have, to bring people down. That's why Tourism Australia and governments get behind.
And we've got Rory coming. So
that's right. So what we want is for our golf courses to shine, so that entices people to come down and spend their money down here in Australia while they're bringing the golf clubs.
So Thomas said, Mark, it's going to have 3 months of the best care during spring in Australia. This is no dramas. Have a look at Augusta 3 months out.
Fingers crossed.
And this one.
Augusta's a little different.
Yeah.
Sure.
By the way, these fringes have been poisoned. Sorry, they haven't worn out.
Yeah.
They've been poisoned.
Right.
All right. So just throw that into the mix, sir.
This one from Sammy, which I think is quite funny. I clean my teeth every day. That doesn't make me a dentist. Just because you play golf each week, Mark, doesn't make you a golf course turf manager.
That's correct. I'm just using my experience at watching these things.
But you did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So if you know that commercial, folks. If you don't, I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. I'm just using my experience. Like I said, I didn't say it's impossible. I'm just saying it would be a minor miracle if it got up.
Sponge. How's everything look?
Looks good. It's real good.
What's his BP?
120/80.
Okay, folks. Close him up.
You're not Dr. Stewart.
No. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Okay, let's move on from that. This is from School Golfer. Now, I've got to preface this one by saying I have edited this one for language.
Excellent.
It was very, very, very juicy.
Really? Wow.
And now it's less juicy.
All right.
School Golfer has said, Mark, I keep hearing you talk about Wayne Radar Riley. At one point, you called him your role model. I just wanted to share my own story about Radar. Myself and a few teenage mates were playing socially after school on the day before the Gunneter Pro-Am in about 1986.
No, this is when Radar was at his very best.
Radar was playing the practice round on the day when we crossed paths on the 170-metre par 3 16th. We were all pretty handy golfers. We'd all hit our shots on or near the green.
Yeah.
Radar rocks up behind us and said, I can hit it closer than all of you blokes on my knees.
Yep.
Go on then.
I've seen him do this.
We said, thinking this long-haired clown is full of it.
Yep.
He tees it up. He lines up on his knees. Then he stripes the ball to 2 metres.
Oh, to 2 metres.
That's how you play golf, he said.
Yeah.
Then he walked off with his chest puffed out like a pigeon.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've affectionately referred to him as Wayne Wanker Riley. Now that I'm older and maybe a bit wiser, I can acknowledge his talent and his contribution to the game and even see the funny side. Certainly a true Aussie larrikin.
Yeah, look, I used to like him, and I liked his just his front. And I used to go and watch him, when I was a kid. If they had tournaments at the Vic Open or the Australian Open, I would go and watch Radar play and everybody else, mind you. I'd watch them all play.
He's a character of the game and you need him.
The very first tournament I ever played, he won. It was the Air New Zealand Shell Open.
Okay.
And it was at a golf course called Titirangi, which Dr. Alistair McKenzie designed. He had a huge lead. A huge lead. Like he won it by 10.
Really?
Something
wow.
like that.
Gosh.
And on the last hole, he was going to go Mo Norman.
Oh, no.
It was a 3-wood wedge hole.
Yeah.
And his caddy had to talk him out of
He
going wedge 3-wood.
Wedge 3-wood, yeah.
Wedge 3-wood. And I asked him, I'd only heard the story. That's what I was told. And not long ago at one of the senior events, remember I went up and played a senior event in Queensland. I was at that one, and I went up there to host it. And so I got everybody out of the crowd and, all the stories that I'd heard about them. So, for instance, Gowie, shooting a 60 and, whoever was in there, I knew a story about them. And when I got the Radar, I asked him, I said, was that true? And he grabbed the microphone and told the story. Yeah, it was beautiful. And so that was true. His caddy actually talked him out of it.
Wow. Yeah, he's such a character, that guy.
School Golfer also finished on this. Nick and Dan, can you please let Mark have his rake pod? I'm sick of hearing about it, and I reckon there is only one way to silence him. Love the pod.
Okay. So the issue with the rake pod is that all this equipment that we have in here, we can't really take it to where we want to go. So I'm waiting for the microphone style that you've got. When you do your stuff, mine aren't quite right. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to film rake pod on an iPhone. I think it's just the way it is. But I'm going to go to different golf courses, different rakes.
I do have 2 mics.
I know you have 2 mics. So I think it's the only way we can do it. We've got just got to put aside a day.
We should actually.
And just get it done. And I want to go to...
We do need to go to various... Yeah,
I want to go to a public golf course. Yeah. I want to go to the golf courses that will let me on. That number is getting smaller and smaller as we speak. And I want to go to golf courses where they have different rakes. So, for instance, Metropolitan, I'm going to be calling you because you've got the oval style rakes that you rate.
They're the best I've seen.
That's right. I did want to go to Royal Melbourne, but I'm not sure I'll get through the gates these days. But they've got those beautiful wooden rakes. So I might have to go to Commonwealth because they've got the wooden style rakes. And then I want to go to a public golf course where the rakes are horrendous and explain why they, one, need good rakes, and two, need to put the rake in the right place to make it as easy as possible for people who don't like raking bunkers. And there are certainly lots of those.
Yeah, okay. Ian, hey, gents, I enjoy the podcast. I think it's time that commentators come up with a better descriptor term than metalwoods. I would suggest fairway drivers. Cheers, Ian.
Fairway drivers? But you don't hit it off the fairway, you hit it off the tee.
Yeah, fairway drivers.
Oh,
fairway woods. Metalwoods.
He just doesn't like metalwoods. Don't like metalwoods.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Do people call them metalwoods anymore?
I don't think so.
They just say fairway woods or the driver.
Well, Jack Newton, he started fairway metal.
Fairway metal?
Fairway metal for your 3-wood. I still love using the term wood.
Oh, yeah,
It's just it's a bit of homage, paying a bit of homage to the old days.
Absolutely.
When we had hickory shafts and, people were crafting a golf club out of wood.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think it's okay too.
Yeah, it's fine.
I remember when I first turned pro, I was still using wooden clubs, and the only woods that I could get a hold of, had 10 degrees on them. And I was in the ball, where 10 degrees went too high. There was a bloke in Melbourne called Peter Speed, and Speedy was the guy who used to fix my clubs.
Okay.
So I got these clubs. Cleveland Classic, believe it or not, used to have the best. I used to think had the best wooden clubs.
They were good. The Tommy Armours were good.
Anyway, Cleveland Classic, the ones that they sent down here, that McGregor never seemed to. They never fired those ones down here, the McGregors. But anyway, Cleveland Classic, I used to think were the best. The ones that were available had 10.5 degrees loft. So I would have to take it to Speedy, and Speedy would get an X100 shaft and push the shaft through an inch. So I was a little bit stiffer with the X100, like I'd heard the best players did. So I just kind of fell in line with them. But Speedy, I say, I needed this with less loft. And he would just go to his cupboard and get a file out, and he would just file the face of the wood. And
that's the only way to do it.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
So Peter Speed, that's the only way you can get it fixed. Yeah. So I love the fact that we call them woods, 3 wood and a driver, or a 5 wood or a 7 wood. That was a great masterclass last week. I think we keep it. And I say stuff it to anyone who wants to call the 5 metal. Doesn't make sense.
Now, before we go to the turn, last week we had somebody who mentioned the phrase "the Liver King" from Texas Tech, and none of us knew what the Liver King was.
What was that?
What? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
have
you didn't find out?
No.
Have we found out?
No.
I just figured it was you.
I thought it might have been you too.
Well, I did a bit of damage to my liver in the Texas Tech.
Well, we've had no one who's clarified if Mark is the Liver King or if it's someone else. So
I was never called the Liver King as far as I know.
Put a shout out to, who was it? Kevin Youngblood.
Yeah.
He might know.
Okay, well, maybe we'll find out.
Quite often called the Far King.
Okay, all right.
But that was about it, because I came from a land far away, Dan.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We do not want to lose our podcast license.
Sorry about that.
Now, we've got a Wolfpacker, Steve, who has a question for you boys.
Okay.
So we might go to the turn, grab a sausage roll, and have a chat to Steve after this.
Right here.
If you're planning a Gold Coast holiday, we've got an idea for you. Just 23 minutes from Surfers Paradise, you'll find one of Australia's most stunning golf experiences. Links Golf and Wellbeing at Hope Island is a premium 18-hole course designed to challenge and entertain whatever your skill level. We can't guarantee that you'll hit the ball like Scotty Scheffler, but with lush fairways, pristine greens and a link-style layout, you'll have a great time trying. And with a friendly modern clubhouse, including a restaurant and bar, Links Golf and Wellbeing at Hope Island makes you feel just as welcome off the course as you are on. And of course, there's a well-equipped pro shop, putting greens and driving range. So whether you come for the golf, the food or the company, next time you visit the Gold Coast, we'd love you to drop into Links Golf and Wellbeing Hope Island. Visit us at linkshopeisland.com.au.
We're live from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. We all know the number one ball in golf is Titleist and the number one shoe and glove in golf is FootJoy. We're here thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet. They beat everyone's prices. Ping will always help you play your best. Turn your bogeys into birdies with the Watch My Numbers app, and Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. That's Better. Now, back to Talk Birdie-Tome. Here's Nick and Mark.
Okay, welcome back. It's time for another little bit of feedback, and this is our favourite, when people get in touch with us on WhatsApp and we do it live, Dan. So who have we got?
We've got Steve here, if I have got the right button going on. Steve should be... Hey, there he is.
Stevie.
Eddie.
Hey, guys.
Now, where are you calling from, Steve?
So I'm calling from Victoria. I'm down in Mitcham at the moment, but I live in Kilsyth, and I play golf quite socially in a social club that's been around for a while. got a proper handicap through Future Golf, but so I play with the DAGS, Dedicated Amateur Golf Society.
I like that.
That's great.
So
And what's your handicap now?
It's 7.1.
Oh, you're
wow.
a good golfer.
Very good.
Yeah, you're a player.
So
all right, well, what's your question?
Hence why I'm ringing or contacting you guys. So a long-time friend he's an absolute golf nuffy, and he about 3 years ago he got bowel cancer. And sorry. He's not going to make this year.
Right.
Bugger.
No, I'm sorry to hear.
Sorry.
No, you're
That's
good.
right, Steve.
Jeez.
It's all good. Take your time.
So over the last 3 years, I've done the longest day and raising funds for Cancer Council. I've done, I think, close to $14,000.
Oh, wow. What an effort.
So we were having a conversation and he said to me that he always wanted to play in the amateur golf, like the Victorian amateur, and he was probably good enough in his heyday. He was a very good golfer. And so I've decided I'm going to have a crack next year.
Good on you.
Nice.
Play in the vets, the seniors, Victorian seniors amateur.
Oh, you'll love it.
But I've got to get to 5.
Right.
I know.
And here's the problem. I am a pretty ordinary 7 handicapper. It can be looking like one of you guys, or it can be looking more like I should be playing left-handed. So no offense, Nick.
That's okay. None taken.
So I sort of want to ask you guys, what is the best way for me to attack this? I've turned 55 in November, so I'm going to miss this year. So I'm obviously going to go next year. And I've really, I just want to know what's the best way to go about it.
Sure. Well, maybe, I guess to get a sense of your game, you say you're a 7 handicapper. Are you, for example, do you have a good short game, or is your strength more with how you drive the ball and hit your irons, or?
Well, Sunday, I would say the strength was my driving. I hit the ball. I didn't miss a fairway all day.
Beautiful.
Well, this is an easy conversation coming up.
Which was my putting is, I'm just going to say it's woeful.
Okay.
It's beyond
well, there you go.
It's crazy easy.
And my chipping used to be really good.
Yeah. So it's short game.
Yeah. So you know as well as I do, it sounds like if Steve had your short game or my short game, he's probably playing off 1 or 2.
Yeah. Maybe even scratch.
All right. So our goal is not to get you to 5. We want to get you to 3 or 4.
Yeah.
To give you a bit of a cushion here. So
yes.
Okay. So the first thing you've got to, this is just a bit of knowledge. The first thing you've got to understand is if you're chipping the easy chips and pitches to 8 foot and in, you don't have to improve that much to significantly improve your scores. If you can start chipping instead of 8 foot and in to 5 foot and in, the difference between holing 5-footers and 8-footers is quite significant when you look at the stats on the PGA Tour.
Yep.
So it's not like you have to go from chipping at 8 foot to chipping at dead. So you've got to get that out of your head. You've only got a significantly, just a small improvement. And that is, we need some short game lessons from somebody who's reputable to get that job done.
Yeah. And then, on the putting side of things, if you say your putting's woeful and you're playing off a 7, well, there's an easy 2 or 3 shots. Maybe that is a little bit of green reading to start off with. Maybe it's a bit of technical work with the stroke. I always find everyone has their own stroke. It's more about rhythm and tempo. So working on those sorts of things. It'd be good for you to actually maybe send in a couple of videos, I would say. Maybe of your chipping action and a bit of your putting as well. And I'd love to offer you some tips on that, because there's certainly some pretty
that'd
easy
be
fixes
fantastic.
there I think we could do. And then lastly, I think, is to have a think about, and I always talk about this, you know, this, Mark and Dan, is a pre-shot routine. Because that's really, really important. It's the only thing we can control before we hit a golf ball. After we hit it, golf ball's out of our control. But that 10, 15 seconds before you hit a ball is so important. And what you think about and how you move into the ball and things like that, how you line up especially, is really important. So send us a few videos, I think, where you go through the whole process. You're not just going to show us our putting stroke, but get someone to film you walking into the putt or walking into a chip shot and things like that, and then we can go from there.
You mentioned green reading there, and you and I both know, and people who listen to this podcast know, that is one of the most important things. That is a real skill set that people don't talk about. Someone asked me last week, how do they become a better green reader? The putting drill where you go around in a circle, so 4 balls in a circle, finding a bit of slope. But there's a little twist to it. So first of all, you knock them all in. You got to keep on going around until you hold 4 in a row.
From how far?
I'm saying 4 feet.
4 feet.
Right,
okay.
so 4 feet. So just a little bit longer than the length of your putter. And then once you've done that, 1, tap yourself on the back because it's hard to do. 2, the next time you go around, you're hitting the putts so they just fall in the front. And then the next time, once you've held 4 in a row, then the next time you do the 4 round, you're going in solidly. And what you will find is you will develop a sense not only with your sight but also with the feet, because you just do it so often that you can start to actually feel whether it's going to be right to left or left to right. But it's not just reading the green, which is important. It's understanding pace when you are green reading that is important. So you want 4 in a row going in nicely, just how you do it. 4 in a row going in, falling in the front door, and then 4 in a row falling in quite firm. And then you will get a real understanding and you just zero in on all your skills. So I think that's an important one as well.
Yeah, and when you do get a chance to go hit balls or do some practice, I'd say spend 2/3 of your time just on pitching and putting at the moment.
I've just actually signed up at a place called Golf Athletics in Mitcham, and it's an indoor studio, and it's got a short game area and driving bays and all that sort of stuff. I can get there. I was there this morning at 5:30, so it's kind of suits me with that. So I had a couple of questions where I was going to ask you guys. You've answered a few of them. Is it the only club I haven't had fitted in my bag is actually my putter?
Dude, what are you doing?
Getting a putter fitting.
Yeah.
Well, just like everything, you play once a month and you don't really worry about it that much. And where is a good place to go? Do you know of anywhere?
No, your local professional, mate. I mean, the PGA professional is one of the most handy people at your golf club. It's the first point of call. You turn up the golf course, but they're also highly skilled in selecting what golf clubs, because it's not just their knowledge either. I mean, I do all these Titleist university classes. So most of the pros who have got Titleist in their background or Ping or whatever, they are actually taught about how to fit people into not only drivers and irons, but also putters.
Yeah.
So
because a lot depends on your stroke as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the look of a putter and all that kind of stuff. So that's important.
Yeah. I'd say where you've just signed up to do this practice early in the morning, I'm sure there's someone there that could probably point you in the right direction as well. There may even be a PGA pro there already. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Steve, do you reckon do you reckon you can get someone to do some videos and send them in for Nick and Mark to have a look at? Is that something you can do?
Yeah. I'll give it a crack. Yeah, I'll see if I can get someone to just hold a phone or something for me to.
I'll tell you the other thing, Steve. I mean, you're breaking my heart here. I had bowel cancer a long time ago. So that's in the back of my mind. Once you get going, I want you to give me a call, 3 months from now, and we'll check it out. We'll actually have a look at your chipping and your putting. We will find time to do that, Nicholas. So
absolutely.
We love what you're doing for your friend.
Guys.
We love what you're doing. Good luck. We want you to get down to 3 or 4, not just the trip over the line and get the 5.
No.
But we want to make sure this works. We want to make sure this works.
I've never really taken golf seriously, so
good.
It's kind of told me to get my finger out and have a red hot go for the first time ever. So
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Yes. Well, good on you,
Thank you very
Steve.
much.
All right.
Thanks for getting in touch. We love what you're doing. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in about 3 months.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
guys.
Cheers,
Good on
Steve.
you.
Thanks, Steve. Oh, that is fantastic, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't
Right.
it?
Really
Yeah.
good.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
I reckon that's all the feedback we need for today. I think that's a lovely note to end on, and it's going to be great to follow his journey. I think, and just see how he develops and evolves, because it's a great cause. It's a great thing he's doing for his mate.
Hey, make sure you look out for our long driving special too, because
yes.
when Aldrich Boitgear had a win last week, we said we'd try and get Australia's longest hitter in. I can tell you we've made it happen. So look out for that
It's
one.
coming.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, and the top 100 chat with Jasper
next week.
yes.
Next week.
week.
Yeah, make sure we might send him some Everlast headgear. I've just got a feeling it could be a bit feisty. But we'll see what happens.
Thanks, boys.
See you guys.
Cheers.
And that's been Talk Birdie Sammy, Australia's most popular golf podcast, with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen, coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. As everyone knows, Titleist is the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to subscribe, maybe leave a review, and we'd love you to share the pod with a friend who loves their golf. Huge thanks to our fantastic partners. Ping, like they do for Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. You can see your local golf shop or professional for a Ping club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet always beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Watch My Numbers is the most powerful data-based golf app in the world. You can download from the App Store or Google Play. And better, they've got the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download from the App Stores today. Now that's better. Keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? But for now, from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you next time.